I brainstormed this list for you and I wanted to share it in today's episode. It's 10 ways a book can get you clients and customers. Becoming the author of a book is an instant credibility and authority status booster. Like it is one of the fastest ways that I know of to be seen as more credible on a topic, to be seen as an authority on a topic. And for right or wrong, because honestly, you don't have to put something good in the book for somebody to see the cover and perceive you as an authority. I hope you do put something good in your book, by the way. But having the book out there, being the person who wrote the book on the topic, has a huge credibility boost. And it's also, if you're using it in the context of building your business, it's a great way to pre-motivate, to pre-educate, to pre-qualify prospects for your products, your service, whatever it is that you offer. It's a great way to get prospects engaged. And by the way, book buyers are great customers. So books have all sorts of advantages, and I want to talk about using them specifically today to get you clients and customers. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. Let's dive in. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, so if I'm going to talk to you about 10 ways a book can get you clients and customers, it does kind of hinge on this fact that you need to have a book in the first place, doesn't it? So if you want to write and publish your book in 90 days, I want you to check out a replay of a webinar that I just did with Self-Publishing School. I'll include a link in the description, but basically I got on with Matt Emery from Self-Publishing School, who has helped coach, the Self-Publishing School has helped coach thousands of authors to get their books out. And Matt explained their process and how it works and how you can get your book published in 90 days. All you have to do is check the link in the description to get access to that webinar, watch it, and see what you think. All right, so let's dive into the 10 ways a book can get you clients and customers. Number one, there will always be a next action is a principle of direct response marketing. And when I teach copywriting, I teach you have to tell people what to do next. Like if you want to generate response, you have to tell people what to do next. So that brings me back to number one, which is put an offer in your book. So let's take my book, The Ultimate Selling Story here. This is a book that I actually start with an offer. Let's see, it's a couple pages in. Wait, before you even dive in, you'll love this book, I promise, and you'll get even more out of it with these additional resources. Free companion template and training, and I have a call to action for that, explain that a little bit, and go deep and develop story selling mastery. And I explain the story selling masterclass and have a call to action for that. Very simple to put an offer page in the front of the book. I also have in the back of the book, don't forget, even though you're done with the book, your story selling mastery is just beginning. Take your next step with these additional resources, the free companion template and training, and then go deep and develop story selling mastery. So put an offer in your book. You want to get clients and customers with your book, you have to give them a next step, the next place that they need to go. Simple as that. You put an offer in your book if you want to, and you know, you have to think about how it's going to fit in your book. You can also put additional mentions throughout the book where it makes sense, so it doesn't come across as like just some over-the-top crazy commercial, and focus on also delivering the value that you promise in the book as well. But put an offer in the book that tells people where to go next. Number 2 on my list, build a free or $5 book funnel. That is, a book funnel is basically you're going to sell the book, or you're going to maybe give away the book but charge shipping for it. That's what the free book funnel is you give away the book for free but you charge it some kind of shipping charge. And the whole point of this is being able to acquire customers from paid traffic or from other sources, getting people to spend their first dollar with you, and potentially having additional offers after that where you are making more money for every book buyer coming through. But if you want to acquire customers, especially if you have some kind of online course business or you have some kind of training business or coaching business, it can be really beneficial to build a funnel around getting copies of your book in people's hands. In fact, there's one business that I was working with, the copywriter for that business, and they sell a form of like business growth coaching. And they were doing a great job with their paid advertising, getting people to book calls, etc., for their business growth coaching. And then they launched a $5 ebook funnel. And they said, you can get our book plus the audiobook plus some accompanying training with it for just $5. And they said the quality of those customers was off the charts compared to the people who were just going after the free offers that they had previously. So they were getting very high quality coaching clients out of people who spent $5 to download the ebook. So build some kind of funnel, and I'm not going to go into a ton of detail here, where you're actually getting people to spend a little bit of money directly with you on your book, and then following up with those people with either immediate additional offers or future offers in such a way that you are turning them into a higher ticket client or customer. Build a high ticket book funnel. A high ticket book funnel is that's something where you're actually selling maybe a more expensive version of your book that maybe comes with some companion training, maybe comes with some additional things. But what you're looking to do is you're looking to get people who are interested in the topic of your book, which presumably is connected to whatever client service you offer, where you're getting people who are interested in the topic of your book to spend a little bit more money, to engage with your content, and then immediately afterwards, you're going to have some kind of follow-up system in place or some kind of offer system in place where you are sending them to a much higher ticket offer. So much more extensive mastermind programs or courses or direct coaching programs, etc. This is kind of the opposite of the free $5 ebook funnel, where there you're just trying to get it into as many people's hands as cheap as possible. The high ticket is you're still trying to get it into as many people's hands as possible, but you're charging a little bit more and differentiating the kind of people who are investing more money in a resource like that. Now you can do this in a completely different way. You can do a free book giveaway. Like if you just create the book for the purpose of acquiring leads for your business, you can give away copies, especially ebook copies, where you're just giving away downloads to the book. And you could do this through paid advertising. You could do this where you are doing partnerships with other people's businesses. Like if you promote my ebook, I'll promote yours, etc. This is done a lot also in fiction. Like if a fiction writer writes a series of books and there's additional books to buy in the series, maybe the fiction writer will do a limited time giveaway where they give away the first book in the series for free to get readers engaged. And if you think about it that way, like giving away a copy of your book to attract as many potential leads as possible could be a great way to build your business. Number 5, my 5th recommendation is use your book as the world's best business card. Most business cards that people hand out just end up getting thrown away. They may not even make it home. They may get thrown away before the person leaves, like the networking event. Or if they make it home, they end up like I ended up cleaning out my nightstand and having just a place where I emptied business cards out of my pocket, and I just needed to dump them out and dump them in the trash. And all those people who gave me those business cards, meh. But I've had people give me books as business cards, and those books stuck with me and are still sitting on my bookshelf. And those people are establishing themselves in a very different way than somebody that hands out a piece of cardstock. Oftentimes business books don't make great products in the sense of it's really hard to make $1 million selling a business book, but you could establish 10 six-figure client relationships with one single book. There you have $1 million from the book. $1 million in value created. Books are a great credibility tool, like I said, having a couple books out myself. and actually handing them to somebody and connecting with a client in that context is completely different than just connecting with a client and saying, hey, here's my business card. You want to give me a call? Yeah. Number 6, you can send your book to get on podcasts. Podcasts, especially the ones that do interviews, love guests who have something interesting to talk about. And a book can be a great thing to talk about on a podcast and the content of the book. So, for example, if I want to get on a bunch of copywriter podcasts, sending out my book, The Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid, to podcast hosts and saying, hey, do you have copywriters who want to make a good income as a copywriter? Let's talk about the contents of my book, and can send it out to them ahead of time and say, if you would like to interview me, here's what we need to do to do that. So you can send out your book as a way to get on podcasts. You can also send your book or books to get speaking gigs. Of course, at conferences, at events, when they have speakers, they're looking for people who have credibility. And like I said in the opening of this episode, books, for right or wrong, they are an instant credibility booster, an instant authority status booster. And the type of people who are featured on stages at speaking gigs, or if it's some virtual, summit or whatever, the type of people that they're interested in are people who have that kind of authority and perceived expertise. And so if you want to get speaking gigs, you can send it to people that host events. You can also send your book to get media interviews. So if you want to be featured on a radio show and you have a relevant book, you can send it to the radio show host. If you want to be featured on a TV show and you have a relevant book, there are entire PR plans around this. I'm not trying to go deep into any one of these strategies today. I'm just trying to give you a bunch of ideas. But you can send your book and say, hey, here's my new book. Would you like to talk about this? I think it would be relevant to your audience. I think it would serve your audience. And that's the big thing with any of these, like podcast speaking gigs, media interviews, that sort of stuff, is making sure that the topic that you are talking about serves the audience of whatever it is. And if it does, if it's a good fit, they're going to be, at least somewhat predisposed to considering you, paying attention, maybe even bringing you in to do these things. You can send your book to get other PR mentions. So, for example, articles are written every day that quote 3 or 4 experts, 3 or 4 relevant insiders on a particular topic. And they're always looking for people who are credible. So if they were to say, be writing an article about copywriting as a work from home opportunity today. Well, Roy Furr, the author of The Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid, says that you should do this if you want to be successful as a copywriter. That's a great PR mention. That's a great thing to include in an article, and it makes me a credible source for that. So if you want to get PR mentions, you can send your book to authors of articles around relevant topics. And the last thing that I have is kind of like the first thing. So the first thing was, number 1 was put an offer in your book, right? And that's going to make everything that you do more successful, because let's say, for example, you get on a podcast and you are able to talk about your book, and then somebody goes and buys the book. Well, that person is more likely to, and let's say they buy it from Amazon, right? That person is more likely to become a client or customer in the future if they see that offer in the front of your book and they go to the page and they check it out, right? Like they maybe sign up and download whatever freebie you're offering or whatever that is. So that person going through that process, the offer that you put in the front of the book makes everything else you do more valuable. So number 10 is make an author or book website, or both. By having a website specifically for you as an author for your book, it creates search engine fodder. It creates results that can show up in the search engine result pages when people are searching for you. If you are in PR, if you get mentioned in articles, it gives Google something to point to when somebody searches for this author and this book, etc. So if you make a website around yourself as an author and the book, it can help you get more clients, especially if you have a call to action there related to whatever products or services might be the next best step after the book. All right. So The whole point of this was really to help you brainstorm all the different ways that a book can help you get clients and customers. And if you would like to go deeper into the process of actually writing a book, maybe even having it out within the next 90 days, that webinar that I did with Matt Emery from Self-Publishing School, How to Write and Publish Your Book in 90 Days, is a great start. That's the first link in the description. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this delivered to you in the future. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. I'll see you soon. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.